Hi Gemini, welcome back to Key Wisdom Tarot. My name is Ruth and I'm your Reiki Master and Tarot Reader. This Gemini is your new reading, your week in brief, and we're going to draw 3 cards initially. The first card is going to relate to work and money, the second card to love and romance, and the third card your overall energy or focus for the week up until the 5th of November. Okay, I've already shuffled, I've already meditated on the cards, and I'm going to do that a little bit more on camera and then we'll get started. Okay, I must say, Gemini, I'm feeling a bit of heaviness, this week. I don't know why. For these cards, I mean, I shuffled and split and cleansed, but yeah, I feel a heaviness for some reason. So let's have a look at the cards. Your first one, work and money, is this card here, Queen of Swords. Sword energy is related to the earth signs. That's your sign, so this is your card, potentially what you're going to be doing and experiencing this month, this week. So the swords are about our thoughts, our minds, our clarity, our communication, our truths, our consciousness. Okay, and speaking our truths, really, Gemini. However, the queens are the feminine aspect of the energy, is about knowing, it's about what is within. Okay, it's about your understanding, and this is knowing what you want to say. This is what this card actually represents. It's knowing what you want to say. It's knowing what you think now. It's having that clarity in mind now. So maybe there's something that if you're doing a presentation, for example, or if you're preparing to, put a pitch together or a bid together for something at work, or preparing for an interview, for example, you know what you want to say. There's a card that wants to come out. This is to clarify this card, and it feels like this is maybe where the heaviness comes from. Pentacles is a practical energy. It's about things that we put our energy into to actually manifest in this world, so the relationships, the work, in this respect, money, making money. And as a shorthand, I call this card a blow to our egos that makes us consider and realize that a change is necessary. Okay, so maybe a lot of in fact, this is everybody, a lot of our self-worth just as humans is around our work, the job that we do. If you've got this job, then you're better than this person, or if you've got, this person's job is not as good as your job, which is ridiculous. But our egos are of course, are wrapped up in work, in the jobs that we have and the jobs that we do. Some of you may have lost a job, so may have lost something in the past that has made you feel like this, made you feel bad about yourself, really, made you feel not good about yourself at work. And it's like maybe you're starting to realize that this week. Maybe you're starting to recognize that something that has already happened has an impact on your self-worth and value at work. So a previous employer, for example, a previous negative experience in work, in your career, maybe you've had knockbacks in with your job applications, etc. Whatever it is, it's like this week you're realizing that has actually affected your self-worth. It's affected your self-worth. And it's important, as I said, to realise that is what we sort of just live that way. We don't ever question that, of course, our self-worth is wrapped up with our work, but it shouldn't be. It's our work is something that should bring us joy. Our work, did you hear what I just said? Our work is something that should bring us joy. Our work is not to pay the bills. Even though that's what, and to pay taxes, even though that's what the world tells you, that's not what it's for. Work is to give you, is to help you to feel good and to express yourself and to feel joyful. And I think that in the past, you have not felt joyful in the work that you did. And I think that maybe you're starting to realise that actually that was a real traumatic place that I worked. That was a really difficult environment to work in. It wasn't any good for me. It really damaged me. It really damaged my self-esteem. You know, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Swords is coming into that realisation. This has already happened. You know, for some of you, you know, again, if you've been looking for work and you're still struggling, that might sort of suggest that. But again, even if you have been looking for work and you have been struggling, this is really about you. This is really about you understanding that your self-worth, your self-esteem at work, in work, the ability that you think you have or not to get a job has already been affected by something else that's happened. You have to start having more belief in yourself when it comes to work, okay? You have to start having more belief in yourself when it comes to work, when it comes to money, when it comes to the abilities that you have to be successful at work and to make your own money, okay? This is related to love and finances. Love and finances. Just love, darling. So, you know, this is about potentially a past, oh gosh. There's a past love, yeah. It's related to a past love, a past person, and there's regrets. The Six of Cups relates, obviously, emotions. Cups is related to our emotions, our inner wisdoms, our intuitions, you know, our feelings. And we are thinking back, you are thinking back to the past. You're thinking back to this, the emotional baggage that you have carried, the emotional upsets in your romantic relationships that have still affected you potentially. In fact, for those people that are interested, I have, number fives. I've done a post on the number fives on my Instagram. You'll have to scroll down a bit, but you'll see a bit more detail about these cards, okay? About the number fives. And when we see the number five, it's a change is necessary, and a change in our understanding of our emotions and the things that we focus on when it comes to our emotions. So in this instance, it's asking you to turn around and recognize the potential of something, or recognize that you are lovable, that you're able to be loved, you know. And that when we see this number five, it's situations that arise that make us recognize, that make us see that changes is necessary, that change is necessary. So for you, something may trigger you this week to think back, to recognize, I should say. Something may trigger you this week to recognize, wow, I'm still holding on to that. I'm still holding on to that betrayal. I'm still holding on to that sadness from that previous relationship or from that previous marriage. I really have to let that go. And it harks back to the past, clearly, because we've got this 6 card. And this could be related to, you know, it's related to soulmate energy, past life energy. Excuse me. But we say that because of the wisdom of the number 6. Number 6 is all about balance. Literally on the tree of life, number 6 is cold beauty. And I always describe that to you guys as a recognition of the value of something, of the worth of something. So this is like realizing that even the bad stuff that we go through makes us who we are. Even the stuff that hurts us makes us stronger. So it's about recognizing that there is actually beauty and blessings even in the sad experiences that you've had, but also about realizing this week when it comes to love and relationships that there are things that you can release now. And as I said, with the number 5, situations may arise this week that trigger you to recognize, to see that you're carrying that around with you, okay? So your overall energy and focus for this week is the Emperor and the 2 of Pentacles. Now, it's interesting because this one was at the bottom. So I'd usually say that clarified, but no, that's how I wanted to show them. So this is clarifying the Emperor. The Emperor is your overall focus, about that strength, about that stability, The Emperor's done his inner work. I've also done a post about the Emperor. You'll have to scroll down in my Instagram, but it's there, about the number 4s and about the Emperor. So maybe check that out as well. Now, the Emperor, I love this card, and I love, when I did that post, I learned a lot about the Emperor and the energy of this card. The energy of this card is about knowing yourself, knowing your foundations, knowing at your core who you are, because you've done that inner work, because you've had these realizations, because you've tried to release the things that you don't need to anymore, and released them after you've accepted that they've brought you into awareness. After you've accepted that these sadnesses have brought you into awareness, have given you strength, we are the Emperor. We are confident because we know the things that have held us back in the past, and we know also that we've overcome them, or that we are able to overcome them. That is why the Emperor is the boss. Yeah, that is why the Emperor, we respect the Emperor. So for you, it's about you finding that this week. It's about you overall looking within, looking around, looking at the changes that you've made, looking at the choices that you've made, looking at how you feel about yourself and what you tell yourself, and recognizing that all those things make you who you are, and you can overcome them, and you can be strong. This is what you're being sort of asked to do, and it might be quite confronting for you this week. You know, as I said, my tone is actually quite somber, isn't it? But the heaviness, I think that you're actually going, I'll have a closer look at the astrology for you guys, Gemini, this month, when I do your love reading for November, which I'll do next week. And I'll put I'll give you a bit more information, hopefully, about it, because I feel like there's been work going on, you know, that this year for you, Gemini. We've spoken about that actually already, and it creates and causes imbalance because we're going through changes, because we're coming into awareness, and we're expanding. You know, you're becoming stronger, but you feel weak at times. The Emperor, this is saying that you can, that you need to be strong. You need to face up to these things, because this is what is giving you, they make up your foundations just as much as your ambition does, just as much as your logic does, just as much as your work ethic does, okay? And we've got the 2 of Pentacles as well. So again, this is like you looking at these different things. It's literally, he's juggling basically these two, as far as I can, that's what I feel. This is what you're juggling. You're trying to understand. You're trying to look at. You're trying to reason. You're trying to make sense of these things that have happened, these slights that have happened to you, these changes that you need to make, how they've affected your self-esteem, okay? And that's what you need to do, because the change brings the strength and the solidity. The understanding brings the strength to you and brings the solidity to you, okay? So I hope you've enjoyed that reading. You know, I hope you've enjoyed that reading. You know, you are the boss. You know, you are the boss. I'm going to just do your thumbnail quickly. You can be the boss, but the boss isn't the boss because the boss pretends that he's happy, or the boss pretends that they've got it together. The boss is the boss because they know what they've been through and how it's affected them. They know that they felt bad, and they admit that to themselves, and then the boss is stronger for admitting that to themselves, okay? So Gemini, I hope you've enjoyed that reading. As I said, for more in-depth, have a look at your bi-weekly, which I posted last week, which goes up to the 11th of November. I spend a bit more time talking about the cards on that video. And also you can come back next week and check out the what is it, the love reading, which I'm going to do. And I'll, as I said, I'll try to look at a bit more at the astrology for you, because we've had some heavy energies over the last couple of readings, so we'll see astrologically what's affecting you guys at the moment, okay? All right, my Geminis, thank you so much for being here. Like, subscribe, share, blah blah blah. Instagram, Key Wisdom Tarot, you know the stuff, you know the drill. And obviously you can like and comment and press a little bell for subscription. Okay, I love you all, Gemini. Thank you very much. Have a fabulous week. Take care, my lovelies. Bye.